pictures. Who doesn't like a duo team-up?
We've seen over the years from the likes of the Blues Brothers, Bill and Ted, Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance, Dragnet and Venom that a pairing can make for great chemistry and entertainment. Today's feature sees movie legend Samuel L. Jackson team up with comedic veteran Eugene Levy, better known as Jim's dad from American Pie.
Has this held up since the great year that was 2005, or will this be looked upon with great disdain? Let's find out as we find out who the man is. Pacing, chemistry, and timing. This movie has it in spades.
Now, you might be thinking that I'm already summarizing the movie before giving my explanation of why I think this. You're correct, but I'm telling you of these three key aspects, and then by the end of this, it'll make sense. Derek Van and Andy Fiedler are from two different worlds. One is a hardened TFA federal agent that has no filter when it comes to cursing.
Well, this is a Sam Jackson movie. You didn't honestly expect him to be kid-rated, did you?
And the other is a dental supply salesman that is probably the nicest guy you could ever meet. Quirky, friendly, approachable, and someone that is a real family man. The basic plot is that of mistaken identity, in essence. Van sets up a buy for stolen weaponry that a foreign dealer has taken possession of, and Van looks to get a taste by being at a diner with a copy of USA Today. This is set up by Van's informant, Booty, played by Anthony Mackie, who a lot of you may know better as Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon in the MCU. And he's basically Van's ear on the wall and punching bag, in the literal sense of the word.
You're faster, Booty! Pump those up! Get those knees up! Your form is all jacked up, dog! Now what you want, man? I want to buy some guns! I don't know what you're talking about! I'm talking about a telephone pole! What?
We cut to the diner, and this is basically where the plot kicks in.
Andy gets the last copy of the paper, and Joey Trent, played by Luke Goss, hands Andy the merch thinking he's Van, and things escalate with Andy unaware that a gun is in the bag and is arrested by Van. What then begins is a series of hijinks where the two bicker and get on each other's nerves. More so with Van, as Andy irritates him with his criticism of cursing, and to one moment I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh, damn! Let the window down!
Oh, it's just a little flatulence.
Oh, a little flatulence? An elephant could take in the back seat and it wouldn't smell that bad.
Can we just let it go?
Oh, man!
This is down to Andy having an intolerance to red meat, and this is revisited at the end of the movie.
Tell me I didn't hear what I think I just heard.
It's really nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. It's nothing.
Did you eat lunch when you went back to the hotel?
I had some lunch.
What'd you have for lunch exactly?
I had a sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
Steak sandwich.
Hey, you rotten ass son of a...
Sisters?
I feel like the main plot is the bonding between Derek and Andy, as the subplot of the gun trafficking just feels like it takes a back seat. It's not necessarily a detriment to the story, but the chemistry of the two leading men did seem to overshadow the latter.
That said, the character of Joey Trent didn't exactly have enough material to work with as opposed to Van and Fiedler.
You remember when I said the sign of a good writer is when a character is in a different place compared to where they were at the beginning? Well, this is evident for Van as he made time for his daughter's ballet recital and learning to trust people more. Which is highlighted when Van signals to Andy to use the masseter muscles in his mouth to bite Trent, who has him held at gunpoint. This is a link to when Van asked what Fiedler would do if he and his wife were held at gunpoint.
You're walking down the street with your wife. A guy comes up out of nowhere, grabs you from behind, puts a gun to your wife's head. What do?
Bite him.
Bite him?
Do you have any idea how powerful the human bite is? The masseter muscles in the jaw can exert 600 pounds of pressure per inch, and I'm not even discussing bacteria.
Masseter muscles.
It's Latin.
For 83 minutes, the pacing never falters, whether it's with the action or the character development, and it gives the audience a chance to breathe.
I have yet to see this man in a movie where he gives a bad performance.
Despite Star Wars Episode 2 being the train wreck that it was, he still put the time in.
It's no secret that in most of Sam's movies, either as a protagonist or an antagonist, he has the biggest amount of sass and probably the biggest potty mouth of any actor.
And yet, he makes it look like an art form.
There's not one person in this world that you trust.
Nope.
Your mother.
Oh, hell no.
How can you not trust your mother?
She could be playing me.
And he also displays anger greatly.
God damn you! Oh, son of a...
Never seen anyone that pissed off before.
Basically, he steals the show, and he does it effortlessly.
Some know him as the creepy antagonist from Splash, and more recently he's known as Jim's dad from the American Pie series. What I like about Levy is he seems like he's playing himself as this very sweet, friendly and honest family man that you'd like to share a coffee with. He acts as this sobering yin to Van's angry yang as he gets him to understand there are more subtle ways to solve things, whether it be curbing his language,
Oh, fuck, crying out loud.
to persuading him to attend his daughter's recital.
Basically, he's that friend that everyone wants and needs. We all need a Jim's dad. Enter the comic relief.
It's a nickel-plated Ladysmith 9 Mary Mary chrome inlay. Gonna feel that.
It's got a nice weight to it.
Yeah, so do you, baby.
What?
Keep in mind, this was 2005. Not everyone was offended by everything and anything. What he said.
As mentioned before, Booty is basically Van's eyes and ears on the street in places he can't go as a federal agent. He plays his part well from being chased in the street, and to this rather painful moment.
I will cheese grate your ass through this fence.
You know, some have theorized that this might have been his initiation into the Avengers.
It just shows you how far Mackie has progressed in his career when you now see him playing a superhero.
A smug man with a punchable face. So that's basically every British antagonist ever.
As the main antagonist of the flick, he plays his part well as this charming, charismatic gun dealer that has mistaken Andy as a gun buyer. The late Miguel Ferreira plays a small role that is almost antagonistic in the context that he believes Van was in cahoots with his deceased partner in gun trafficking, whereas Van believes that if he played in the rain, he got wet. Susie plays a small role as Van's supervisor who questions his motives in the gun purchasing he's trying to set up, but comes through for him during the end of the movie as she has her own gripes with internal affairs.
Can I assume that Agent Van has been cleared by internal affairs now?
No, not so fast. I want to see every penny of that money.
Heads up.
How about now, you bean-counting moron?
British composer John Murphy, whose theatrical credits include 28 Days Later, Basic Instinct 2, Mean Machine, Sunshine, Kick-Ass, The Suicide Squad, and the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, took on the duties of providing the score.
It's very quirky, mostly with the leading men, which helps to enhance the humour, and when it needs to be serious, it does its job.
It's safe to say that without the score, the movie would feel very different. Despite my positive thoughts on the movie, it was a box office bomb. It only earned $10.3 million against a budget of $20 million. Adjust that through 16 years of inflation and its takings today would be worth $14 million. The movie received a Razzie nomination with Eugene Levy as the worst supporting actor, and Samuel and Eugene receiving the award for Less Than Dynamic Duo at the Stinkers Bad Movie Awards in 2005.
Despite what the critics had to say, the movie has been enjoyed on DVD since 2005. I'm MJ Knight, and we found out who the man was. Has this held up since the great year that was 2005? Okay, that's gonna stop. appreciate that people need to talk to each other, but not whilst I'm filming. There's a blooper. A smug man with a punchable face. So that's basically every British blooper.